Okay, good morning. We'll begin our service with the ringing of the bell. At this time, please silence your cell phones and listen quietly as the sounding of the bell is an invitation to settle our hearts and minds as we prepare to receive the Dharma. Old-fashioned text messaging. Technical difficulties. Try again. Welcome and thank you for joining us for today's 17th annual Obon Cemetary service. It's always so nice and peaceful to have this once-a-year outdoor service as we gaze over the resting place of many of our ancestors. This service gives us a chance to express our gratefulness to them for building the foundation for Konohonganji, while at the same time appreciating the beauty of nature, which often goes unnoticed in our busy daily lives. What a wonderful Nembutsu moment. I'm Darren, and I will serve as your MC. For those of you participating via Zoom, please bear with us if there are any audio or video difficulties, as you've seen, as there's a weak Wi-Fi connectivity at this cemetery area, and we'll be using phones to broadcast service. As a reminder, please be sure to mute your mic during the entire service. Assisting Reverend Blayne with technical support are Alan Matsumoto, Lynn Katayama, Joey Guzman, Stephen Kaneko, and Morris Nagata. Let us start the service with the Vandana and Kisarana led by Reverend Blayne. For those of you present, please rise if you are able to, and let's sing both the Pali and English parts together with Reverend Blayne.
Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa Ome Shime Exalted One, the enlightened one, the supremely awakened one, Buddha Saranam Gacchami, Dhamma Saranam Gacchami Sangam Saranam Gacchami. I go to the Buddha for guidance. I go to the Dharma for guidance. I go to the Sangha for guidance. Namandavats, 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 namandavats.
Please remain standing as your Blayne will now share an aspiration.
Please join me in Gasho. We gather this morning as friends and the Dharma as fellow travelers along the journey of life. We take this moment to remember all who are laid to rest in this sacred place. We extend our deepest gratitude to them and reflect on how our lives have been made possible and enriched by their presence. During this time of Obon, we celebrate life and the lasting bonds of love that continue on. Obon is truly a gathering of joy where both the living and those born in the Pure Land celebrate in the universal embrace of great wisdom and compassion. May we honor their memory by striving to live and pass on the values they shared with us. All sentient beings once born will eventually pass away from this world. There is no greater sadness than parting from those we love. May we come to accept this truth of impermanence and wholeheartedly entrust ourselves to the compassionate vow of Amida Buddha, living together in oneness with the Nembutsu in our hearts. We go to the Buddha for guidance, the one who shows us the way in this life. We go to the Dharma for guidance, the way of understanding and love. We go to the Sangha for guidance, the community that lives in harmony and awareness. Entrusting in the Buddha of all-inclusive wisdom and all-embracing compassion, we call Amida's honored name. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namandavats, 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 namandavats.
Please be seated. We will now have the offering of incense. We invite all Sangha members in attendance to please come up to and offer incense if you're able to safely walk on the uneven pavement. For those of you who prefer to remain seated, a volunteer, Maki, will be circulating the incense box for your use. Let us now observe a moment of silent meditation.
Namanda, 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 namanda.
Reverend Blayne will now lead us in the chanting of the Sutra 12 Homages, or English Junidai. Words can be found on the laminated handouts.
The Junidai, or 12 homages, was composed by Nagarjuna, the first of the 7 masters of Jodo Shinshu. Nagarjuna celebrates the beauty, the grandeur, and the preciousness of the Pure Land, which embodies the virtues of Amida Buddha and expresses the desire to be born in the realm of enlightenment. The phrase Koga Chodai Mida Son, or thus I bow to Amida, is repeated 10 times and has the same meaning as Namo Amida Butsu. This expression of dedication reminds us of our commitment to the Buddha and the land of peace, where everyone attains the highest fulfillment of Buddhahood. Godzen meno bawino to Amida the revered in Buddha's wondrous pure land. Bodhisattvas gather round, golden form like the mountain king, steadfast like the elephant's face, Buddha's eyes like the blue lotus. Thus I bow to Amida, Buddha's form round like the moon, bright like 1,000 suns and moons, Buddha's voice like the nightingale, thus I bow to Amida. Buddha's figure on Kanon's crown, adorned with wondrous features. Buddha subdues evilness, thus I bow to Amida. Beyond compare, Amida's pure virtue shining clear like space. All benefit from Buddha, thus I bow to Amida. Bodhisattvas of renown, Maras to praise Amida. Primal vow made for our sake, thus I bow to Amida. Golden ponds where lotus bloom, towers a throne of goodness. Buddha lives like the mountain king, thus I bow to Amida. Bodhisattvas come afar, attaining true happiness. They revere the Buddha's face, thus I bow to Amida. All life changes like the dew. We have no permanent self. Buddha teaches this law to all, thus I bow to Amida. No evil in the Pure Land, and no fear of evil paths. Faithful hearts honor Buddha, thus I bow to Amida. Saving us through many ways, no tempters, no evil friends. Good leads to enlightenment, thus I bow to Amida. Amida, thus I have praised, virtues boundless like the sea. These virtues shared with others, for birth into the Pure Land. Naman Namu, Naman Namu, Naman Namu, Naman Namu, Naman Namu, Naman Namu. The virtue of Amida's vow is shared equally by all, together attaining awakened mind. We are born in the land of peace. Namandavu, 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 namandavu.
If you are able to, please rise for the Gatha Namanda Beautiful Sunday. Words can be found on oh, I guess not the orange folder, but on the handouts. So please, Betty's not here today, so please sing out loud with the recording.
Good morning, peace in my heart. Our shells ringing, we're ready to start. Dharma, God is beautiful. The ground started our home and me. We're the Dharma, perfect for me. Dharma, God is beautiful. For Sunday, we say Namaste, beautiful day. When we think your thoughts, let me be happy. Say Namaste, beautiful. God is calling to me, and trust in Him, peace and harmony. God is beautiful. On our saga, you'll see the way to live the Dharma every day. God is beautiful. For Sunday, we say Namaste, beautiful day. When we think your thoughts, I can be happy. Say Namaste, beautiful. For Sunday, we say Namaste, beautiful day. When we think your thoughts, let me be happy. Say Namaste, beautiful. On Sunday, we say Namaste, beautiful day. When we think be happy, say Namaste, beautiful.
Please be seated. Today's Dharma message will be delivered by Reverend Blayne.
Hi, good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
It is a beautiful day, isn't it? Yeah. And so, please join me in Gasho to reflect on the words of Shinran Shonin from the Tani Sho. As for me, Shinran, I have never said the Nembutsu even once for the repose of my departed father and mother. For all sentient beings, without exception, have been our parents and brothers and sisters in the course of countless lives in many states of existence. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namanda Butsu. Namanda Butsu. Namanda Butsu. So every year, it's such a special time to be out here at our cemetery. You know, when we're having a moment of meditation this morning, right? Just to hear the birds, to feel the wind, to be present in this space really is special and really kind of just grounds us, right? And reminds us of who we are and why we are here, right? And so at the heart of Obon, right, of the season of joyful memory is a story of timeless love, of connection, and of memory. You know, we reflect on the story each year at the height of summer when we celebrate the fullness of life, all its glory. We dance in endless circles to the rhythmic beat of taiko drums, using our hands and feet to tell heartfelt stories under the night sky, illuminated by brightly colored lanterns. I know Clayton and Nona go Obon dancing every weekend practically during the summertime. Right? And the story of Obon, right, comes from the Ulumbala Sutra, which describes how Moggallana, one of Shakyamuni Buddha's disciples, suffered over the death of his mother, feeling a deep sense of regret and sorrow. He worried that her lifelong devotion to him had been a barrier to her understanding and practicing the Dharma. How many of us have mothers who do everything for them? Or try to, yeah. However, the Buddha counseled Moggallana by asking him to reflect deeply on this, and he came to realize his mother's devotion to him was based on an unselfish, a pure love, which naturally embodied the Buddha's path, right? To care for others, to live with love in our hearts. And so with this profound insight into his mother's life, Moggallana danced with joy as his regret and sorrow were transformed into appreciation and gratitude for her love, which made his life possible. Moggallana's story offers us a profound lesson about living, that when we love, we will also experience the loss of those we love. This is the inescapable truth of our lives. Through our own stories of loss and love, we come to appreciate the significance of our present life, how precious and unrepeatable this moment is, because of the numerous causes and conditions that have brought us together here and now. Our hearts are filled with joy, and we can do nothing else but dance and to celebrate this moment of oneness, this moment of togetherness. And because of our deep connection with our ancestors, we are enabled to live, right? Okage samade. I am what I am because of you. By remembering them, we gain new appreciation for the unique causes and conditions that sustain our lives, which makes our lives possible. Just as the Zen Buddhist teacher Kairyu Lingo reflects, we can't be without our ancestors. And so mindfulness is honoring where we come from. One of the definitions of mindfulness to be, to remember. We can't be who we are without remembering who we come from. Who we come from. Where we come from. And mindfulness is about recognizing and being present with what's in this moment. And if we really open up deeply to what's right here in this moment, it's also our ancestors. Our ancestors are present in us in every moment. Touching the present means to touch our ancestors. This act of remembering is healing because we realize that our ancestors, our loved ones, have never left our side, serving as ever-present companions and guides along our life journey. They live in the dynamic working of Namo Amida Butsu, which is the world of awakening manifesting in our lives. Right? We can hear Amida's voice in the crowing of the many, many chickens we have. And by being born in the Pure Land, right, our ancestors, our loved ones have become one with Amida Buddha. And they return to our lives, to this world, to work for our liberation, our spiritual peace. This is why Nembutsu means to remember or to recall the Buddha. And so when we place our hands together in Gassho and we say the Nembutsu, we remember our connection to and we gratefully acknowledge our oneness with ultimate truth that our ancestors have become part of. Our loved ones live on in that truth. And we come to realize how precious our lives truly are because they are made possible through this dynamic working of life itself. Because of our profound connection to our loved ones, we are enabled to live. And by remembering them, we gain new appreciation for all that enables us to be who we are. Just as Shin Buddhist author Hideo Yonezawa shares, this appreciation for this fundamental concept of how all things are mutually dependent upon one another, right? That we do not exist by ourselves, right? He says this, man lives by receiving all things for the universe, like the earth, the air, the water, and rice. Even rice cannot be grown without the air and the water. The sun and the moon, when we begin to see that we are sustained and given life by all things, we awaken to our true self. The self that is nothing but ego is also the self that is sustained by all things. As we live, we continue to awaken to our true self. This is the life of being born in the Pure Land. This is the moments of awakening, or these Nembutsu moments of appreciation, of seeing our lives as truly precious, as truly remarkable, and connected to all people, all things. This is the working of Namu Amida Butsu, which is asking us to remember our true selves. Every moment of our lives, an opportunity to transcend the world of delusion and suffering and to enter the world of awakening. The wish for all enlightened beings, all the Buddhas, is for us to realize the wonder and the joy of living in this present moment. This includes our loved ones who have attained awakening in the Pure Land and who have become one with the dynamic working of Namu Amida Butsu, which continually embraces us. They remind us that we live in the oneness of the Nembutsu, that we are never alone. However, I've been reading a lot about how our country is experiencing an epidemic of loneliness. Americans often feel isolated and disconnected from each other and ultimately from themselves. This feeling of isolation contributes to the sense of separation we experience from one another, leading to tribalism, xenophobia, and the othering of those who are different from us. This isolation nurtures despair and leaves us vulnerable to the whims of those who would exploit our fears and pain for personal growth, for personal gain. How does it describe the events unfolding in our world today? We need to remember we are never alone, that we are always connected to one another and to the remarkable flow of history that makes our lives possible, right? Our ancestors gave us life. We are connected to family, to friends. We are part of a Sangha, a community of fellow travelers that dates back almost 130 years to the founding of this temple. We are part of a spiritual tradition that goes back over 800 years to the time of Shinran and over 2,600 years to the time of Shakyamuni Buddha. See all the ways in which we are connected to one another and to the flow of infinite time itself. Shinran expresses this understanding of our profound connection to all things when he states in the Tanisho, for all sentient beings, without exception, have been our parents and brothers and sisters in the course of countless lives and many states of existence. Recognizing the truth of this interconnected lives that we live should foster a profound empathy for others and a sense of responsibility to care for the world and each other. Empathy is a strength. Empathy is a virtue that is grounded in this tradition. During this festival of joyful remembrance, the veil separating us from our departed loved ones thins as we welcome them back into our hearts, reminding us of our deep connection to the flow of life itself. These services give us an opportunity to reflect on the importance of being a good ancestor. While we celebrate the lives of our ancestors, during Obon, we also consider how we can become a good ancestor too. We are the links between the past and the future. And in each moment, we are shaping the conditions for what is to come Our actions in the present matter and will significantly influence all who will come after us. How do we want to be remembered by our loved ones and future generations? During Obon, we celebrate life and love, always trusting to the all-encompassing wisdom and compassion of infinite light and life. As our hands and feet follow the ancient rhythms of taiko drums, let's remember our own stories of love and connection that heal our hearts and our world. So please join me in Gassho to recite the Nembutsu together. Entrusting the dynamic working of all-inclusive wisdom and all-embracing compassion, we call Amida's honored name in gratitude, joy, and awareness for the oneness of all life. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namanda Butsu. Namanda Butsu. Namanda Butsu. Mahalo.
Thank you for your message, Reverend Blayne. You know, we must be thinking alike, because when we had the silent meditation, that's what I heard. The birds chirping, the wind, exactly what I felt. And my dad, my grandparents, my uncle. It's one service that they can look over there and actually, hopefully, smile. Okay, moving on. I will now lead you in the unison reading of the Golden Chain of Love, which can be found on the laminated handouts. So please join me in reciting the words out loud. I am a link in Amida Buddha's golden chain of love that stretches around the world. I must keep my link bright and strong. I will try to be kind and gentle to every living thing and protect all who are weaker than myself. I will try to think pure and beautiful thoughts, to say pure and beautiful words, and to do pure and beautiful deeds, knowing that on what I do now depends not only my happiness or unhappiness, but also that of others. May every link in Amida's golden chain of love be bright and strong, and may we all attain perfect peace. Namo Buddhas. Please rise if you're able to, as we will conclude this service with the singing of the Gatha Nembutsu.
Namanda, 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 namanda.
Please be seated.
This concludes today's Obon Cemetery service. Here are some announcements. Upcoming schedule of services and events. Next Sunday, June 13th, regular Dharma family service held at 10 a.m. Sunday, July 20th, we will observe our Obon family service at 10 a.m. Guest speaker will be Reverend David Fujimoto of Mo'ili'ili Honganji Buddhist Temple. At this service, we take time to remember our departed loved ones and celebrate our continuing relationship with them. If you would like to honor your loved ones at this service, please submit their names to the temple office by Wednesday, July 16th. Big event coming up. Mark your calendars for the Konohonganji Bon Dance and Craft Fair, which will be held on Saturday, July 26th. The craft and food vendors will open at 5 p.m. and Bon Dance will start at 6 p.m. Lots of help will be needed, so please read Reverend Blayne's weekly email and the Jiho for details. We'll be very grateful for any kokua you can provide. In anticipation of this event, Bon Dance practices will be held on Mondays and Thursdays, starting July 7th through the 24th, with the exception being the 21st. All practices begin at 7:30 p.m. at the social hall. There's flyers and things around the temple if you want to confirm those dates and times. There will be no Sunday service on July 27th. Thank you very, very much. Some of us have a working job that night. Please take time to open the mini attachment to Reverend Blayne's weekly email update. The attachments range from workshops for disaster preparedness and advanced healthcare directives to topics for the Buddhist Studies Center summer sessions. These sessions will require registration for those of you that may be interested in attending either in person or Zoom. One announcement, the KA Bon Dance, which, well, I was trying to remember the date, but it's canceled. But unfortunately, they had to cancel the event for this year. So the KA Buddhist dance will not be held this year. Any other announcements, Reverend Blayne?
Yep.
Oh, Linda?
For the Bon Dance, BWA will be making manju again. So we would like to, if you can, come out on Friday, the 25th, 26th is Bon Day. Okay, 25th to help with manju making. So we start in the morning. Thanks to Mimi, everything will be all prepared. So I just come in and start making manju.
From what time? From what time?
Did we say it was 8? Did we start at 8?
Yeah.
Huh? We started at 8? Yeah, at the 8 o'clock. Yeah. Yeah, if anyone can help us Thursday night from about 5:30, we'll make those ang balls. So if you can come out for a little bit on Thursday night to help us, but we really need all hands on deck on Friday to make the manju, and we need men because those pans are heavy. So we can make the manju, but you can help us put it, take it out, and that would be awesome. Thank you.
Thank you, Lynn. Those of you on Zoom may leave at any time. For those of you here in person, refreshments will be held down at the conference room. So you get your steps in today, both coming up and going. But so please go to the conference room. Mahalo to the LNL duo of Lynn and Lisa and anyone else who brought goodies to share. Mahalo for the setup and takedown crew, Alan, Joey, Stephen, and anyone else who was here to help us set up the tables, tents, and chairs. Thank you to Morris for setting up the speaker and mics. Let's see. Let's give all the helpers a round of applause for gratefulness. And any help in taking down the tables and tents before you go down and enjoy the refreshments will be much appreciated. Thank you again for joining us. After this, let's go down and have some refreshments. So hope to see you there.